Hi, everyone. Dale Pinkert and Mike Venezia here at TradeGATEHub.com, sponsored, powered by TradeView Markets. How you doing today, Mike? Getting a little bit of gravity sinking into a lot of these markets right here.
It is, and it's yet to be determined if it's still one of these short squeezes. Is two earnings have come out, actually three or four, if you want to look at it as Tesla and
Yeah,
Microsoft were the first to come out.
yeah.
They had a chance after a 30-40% run up or whatever it was in Tesla. We'll get that into a second. And Microsoft, you know what I mean? After a nice bounce, and they had a chance to blast if they wanted to. Like I say, it's just the first day, major day or night. We have a lot of earnings coming out. It's great for the trading, no question about it. You have to be focused because we'll get into that again, but it's yet to be determined if if the earnings are leading the peak inflation, if you will, or everything. It's going to take a couple of days. You know what I mean? It might even get to the point at the end of earnings season, if you will, where they're selling they're selling the pops, and it's the news is already in. So that earnings season plays into a lot of ways. We don't have any really
Okay.
major Fed news coming for a while. If I'm
Yeah, we
correct me
have a
if I'm
Fed
wrong.
meeting. We have a Fed meeting coming up
When is
next
that?
week. Next week.
Well, that's
So
good. You
anyway,
know what?
I just
Considering
want,
what's going on these days, that's good. That's
yeah,
good enough. It's long enough for me to maneuver. You know what I mean?
yeah. So what I just want to point out a few things because viewers know
Sure.
I've been calling for a top in gold for a while, and
Yeah.
every time it pulls back, it holds this 40-day. And we're on the verge with gold down 19 of taking out the 40-day. We're getting a bit of a dollar bounce.
Yeah.
A lot of dollar bears. These guys could get squeezed. And yesterday I talked about the U.S. dollar yen and an ascending triangle. If we get through 131, that's going to be bullish. Normally means higher yields. And the 10-year right here, if you look at it, we might be developing a right shoulder. Here's your left, here's your head, here's your right neckline at 355. It would measure about 380. So as we approach the Fed, maybe the market's going to start pricing in at least short covering from this the dip we've had in yields to where people want to even up in front of the Fed. So that may be what's behind this S&P sell-off that we've had today so far, Mike. There's your 4 hour, little bit of a reversal. So everyone's really talking about the major breakout of this downtrend line.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, and it's trying. Let's see if it could close there for the week. But everyone, the whole cosmos is talking about the S&P breakout here. So let's see if it holds. It's a little under 4,000.
Well,
So what are you doing on a day like this? You selling or continuing to build positions?
listen, I'm selling the one. I'm building on the ones that were strong before this started to matriculate. What does this mean? It could be the tail end of a short squeeze. It could be beginning of a bull market, if you will. It's yet to be determined.
A lot
That's
of
what.
people coming to that view, and I'm turning over the screen to you.
Oh, hold on a second. Let me get to some charts, if you will. You know what I mean? I'm taking this kind of on a day by day. The market had made its move before this case, so I'm taking it. Give me a second. I'm
Yeah,
taking
well,
it.
you were down in Florida, Mike. The market exploded. We've had good follow through this week. I think that you'll have to respect the way the market came back yesterday from the 3950 level on S&Ps, and how Microsoft fought its way back from at the conference call they had the day before.
I'm sharing my screen correctly, Coach.
I don't see it yet.
Okay, hold on a second. Something's out of whack here. I apologize.
Share screens at the bottom there,
No, I
green
got.
button.
Oh, hold on. We're good.
Yep, coming up.
Okay, this is what. Okay, in the last 2 days, there's my screen. There's my universe. Microsoft had the good move. We'll go to charts for a second. The good move off the bottom. I get it. At the yesterday, they could have destroyed it.
Yeah,
Tesla, they did the same thing. After a run up like this, they
gap up.
sold it off a little bit, but you know what I mean. They stop. It doesn't. It's still a stock picking situation to a degree. PDD, best of breed. Here's my. Here it is. Shopify had a nice move and needs some rest. The golds. You know what I mean? I thought, I straight up, I doubled down in them last night. I'm not gonna lie. I'm up
Okay.
nicely in them, but now I got to think. I don't. This GDXJ, I thought was, with the volume. We go. I mean, I I doubled down in them. I mean, I'm up nicely in them. Don't get me wrong, but now I got to think. You know what I mean? Now I got to react instead of just. You asked
Well,
me if
look
I'm.
at that close last night. I mean, it looked like it was going to rocket, and actually, silver is outperforming the gold today. But
Well,
I
here's
mean,
in.
they're due for a rest. If you put up GDX, I was thinking we could pull back to 27,
Oh, 27.
28. Yeah.
That would be something for the market if it did that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not going to argue your price points because you're usually on target and quite aggressive. Uh, but I wouldn't
What a
argue with it.
buying opportunity that's going to be. That's going to launch it for new all-time highs. Well, at least over the 2020 highs. If you get that pullback, it's the last bus stop, in my view. And I need to get on the bus because I'm not right now. I'm
I'm on the
standing
bus.
on
I
the
just doubled
corner
down. Yeah, I
with
hear.
my hands in my pocket because I got cute and got out early, and I've been trying to top pick it for a while, and it's been frustrating. But I think this is it. This time I'm the buy who cried wolf in the gold market a few times here over the last 4 weeks. So we'll see what happens.
That's okay. I wanted to listen on a qualitative note. I just wanted this. The Goldman guy put it perfectly yesterday, and I'm going back to this is going to lead into today. Give me a second if I could find it. And if I'm not going to give it too much time, because you can go back in yesterday's video at the TradeGATEHub channel and watch it. But this is where he is. Okay. This was yesterday. The S&P has now recaptured the 50-day, correct?
Yeah.
We went over this yesterday. The 100-day and the 200-day. Today's move, clearly, this was yesterday, made plenty of investors uncomfortable as we took in a lot of inbounds calls of why the rally was happening. So this is according to Goldman. Granted, it's an opinion. It doesn't mean it's the correct one. It's a high-level opinion. I also said, I also posted, and go back to everybody, if you can't go scroll perfectly, go back to YouTube and post what JP Morgan and Citibank does. It should, I'm mixed. Don't get me wrong. I got maneuvers to work out. But with that being said, I didn't argue with it. And it seems to be the consensus. They recaptured all the moving averages. And why the rally was happening yesterday. Short answer. The technicals, as I said before, about the moving averages, still light positioning. You're light positioned, aren't you, Coach?
Yeah.
So am I. But I mean, I got the right things. But now I'm not. It's not fear of missing out. Now it's fear of underperforming, because I know a lot of people under the water. But certainly, it depends. But actually,
What a January. That's all I could say.
enough said. So let's move on.
What a January.
All right. So light positioning, overly negative sentiment, CTA bids, and some better than feared earnings so far, as what happened to Microsoft and today with Tesla. So let me go to today's post. The same letter, if you will, and this was it right here. Hold on, let me go to today.
I see IBM cut 3,900 jobs. That's nothing for IBM, is it?
30, no, not 3,900
Yeah,
jobs.
what's that? Like their coffee room?
It is a coffee. It used to be Big Blue, poor Big Blue. And this was it right here, if I may say so.
Yeah.
Okay. When the markets and stocks, it's very simple. You don't have to
that's
be
what we were
Goldman,
talking about.
and
Yeah.
you could be in turning on for day one. You don't have. This is not hard reading. This is the whole what the basis of relative strength is, and being aware of the focus of some market dynamics, whether it be daily or weekly. I don't go out longer than that anymore. Is this when the market stocks do not go down on bad news? Microsoft guided was down what? They're 14, went to 230 yesterday. I'll go to a second.
Yeah.
Typically a bullish signal. I think we learned of a lot from the price action today. This market is more resilient than most of our giving credit for. Be thoughtful and selective. This is a Goldman note.
Yeah.
Be selective with your short positions, as squeezes will be common. Worth noting that Chevron raised its dividend, authorized a $75 billion buyback as its breaking year high. Energy complex will outperform on this tomorrow. This is meaning today. So remember the blackout period. So this is all posted today. I'm not paraphrasing. I'm reading about one paragraph here. As I said before, I also posted about what hedge funds do. By the way, K-Web is in a major stage to break up. I'm going to add to these things. I'm still adding to them.
Yeah, I brought you up on the interview with Jerry in China. because most analysts on CNBC and everywhere else said, no, 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 no,
Well,
I won't touch China.
coach,
And
and I'm not,
he asked me, do you know anyone who bought them? And I said, our trader Mike Venezia was
but it
way ahead
wasn't
of
the
the curve.
fact that it wasn't like, okay, I'm not the guy that if
You're not the
if
macro. It's not macro
999,000 people,
China.
if not, but listen,
You just make money, Mike.
well, that's correct. All right, we'll move on.
All
Like
right.
I said. All right, so I posted what was also, Billy is another one. I said Dow misses on revenues. I posted also some Dow stocks move. Yes, they're not the sexiest, they're not Shopify, everything, but here's a chart on DuPont long term. I mean, it made a nice move down, and I also said watch Dow Chemical. Well, actually, Dow Chemical had the news. And you know what I did? I came in short Archer Daniel Mindos. I actually bought. What happened here? I covered this.
Wow.
Archer Daniels went from, I was shorting it this morning from 87. I started covering at 84. Archer Daniels.
Nice trade.
I still think
And look at that. That was a 3 drive to the bottom before
it
it
was a
turned.
3
They're all
drive.
over the place.
So listen, I didn't have a lot of shares. I think I had 2, 3, 4,000. With the 3,000 shares, made $3. Good trade though. STX. Okay, here's another one. STX. Day trades. Okay, we have a.
This is ADM.
I know. Like I said, we are.
This looks heavy.
Well, here's STX right here.
Well, that ADM looked heavy to me.
STX right here. It blew past the 200-day. I started. Am I showing the right trade? I'm shorting it this morning. STX.
You're not showing a chart. There it is. Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. So I'm top ticking STX right here.
That was earnings?
70.89. I'm covering it at 66. That's a good trade.
Yeah, it is.
Same with Western Digital. I pointed to the Gerard. Western Digital did the same thing. It went to 43. I mean, you can't catch everything. It went back to 41. So what I'm saying is there are some things intermediate trades, there are medium trades, and we give the long-term picture, especially you on a daily basis. So on every financial instrument, I am gonna get back to your initial question. Am I adding or taking away my positions? I get the segue. It's just I go off on a couple of tangents. So we're trading with like I said, MBLI came out with earnings today right here. It was a TradeGATEHub position. So MBLI, that also Lewis, what about AAL? Here's MBLI, Mobileye. Okay, this has a stock. No matter what you did, it closed at 34 right here. The high of the day is 39. 5 point, give you a range. Okay,
gave it all back.
Gave it all back. But even if you didn't give it, okay, but it never. Once it reclaimed, reclaimed the open. You could have made a little schnitzel's creamer, said, boy, whatever, 200, 500, 5,000 shares from 34.20 to 36.40. When it never took out the opening low or the opening price, that right here was maybe a time to sell it. But the bottom line is the stock has news price action in range. That's what we do on an intraday basis. It's for those people that want to take money out of the markets. It's my job to tell you that. If somebody has any questions on what I think about long-term about Square, yes, I'm still bullish. Am I upset that I didn't sell it all at 84? Now it's 78, a little bit, but I got the moving at just the same reason why I've been buying it or holding it is the same reason why I feel today. It's a little breather. It's not done. It's not down on any major news. I just think it's a shift in rotation into other stocks that may be acting well at the moment. So that's my intermediate trade. Lewis has a question about AAL. You know what I mean? AAL. Here's the move here on AAL. It's the same thing as UAL.
Yeah, they're all the same except for Southwest.
Delta. AAL is the meme stock. I get it. It's the worst of breed. It's why it's short. It's why it's squeezed the most. What do I think, Coach? You know what? I don't know. What do I think? It's a macro call, and it's a momentum call. So you know what I mean? It's not for me here. It's not for me here. I don't know.
I think you'll see 14 in
it. I would tend to say it would rest to the 200-day, much like the GDX trade, if you will, to a degree, or maybe lower. But that looks like that trade to me. And you know what, JetBlue. But let's look at another. JetBlue was the latest one to come out with earnings. Came out with earnings today. I flew it the other day. JetBlue, JBLU. So let's see how this is acting into earnings. JetBlue, I don't really care for because and this is made. I'm not saying this is emblematic about the whole airline sector. It's just as you get to these lower tier airlines, meaning JetBlue and AAL, This is a stock that could have held very much like AAL, and AAL obviously is better. But JetBlue had earnings today and didn't really act very positive. Well, actually, they did rally back. It's all about the close now. I mean, this stock is from this to make this type of move. I would look at, you know what? It's boring. I would look at JetBlue. If JetBlue reclaims something in the 200-day, yes, it's going to need a lot of rest. And it's even going to need crude to participate in the market. It's made its move. Right now, the airlines to me are more a gauge on, they're more like an indicator to me at this point of what's going on in the market overall.
Okay.
JetBlue.
Oils.
Oils. Here we go. Hold on. Let's get the oils. TTD. I sold this well. Where's TTD? Oils. All right, let's go to the oils here. All right. Chevron. Let's say this. If it wasn't for Chevron having the buyback, where would it be? All right. Had a nice 2-day up from 175 to 185. Not a big move percentage-wise. I think it might be, 4 or 5%. Here's Chevron on the day. They took profits in it. It's holding the range. Chevron, much like everything else after this type of move, is a barometer. Exxon is up $2. I get it. That's at the year high. You have Schlumberger, which took profits. Some drillers took profits. EOG, which is a former best of breed, is not doing anything major. Oxy is not doing anything major. ConocoPhillips is not doing anything major. So it's much like the market to a degree. It's stock specific. You know what I mean? Devon was the best one. They love Devon. They love PXD. And they loved EOG, but now it's only Chevron and Exxon. So I don't know what that.
That's not a bullish sign when leadership is thinning out.
And I'm saying, if it wasn't for Chevron having that buyback, would the oils have rotated downward properly as they should, considering that gold went down? It's that proper day for oil to do that.
Okay.
So you know what? Much like JetBlue being earnings today, a little bit smaller of a gauge. I would look to see how Chevron closes. You know what I mean? It's a huge major fund stock. It's almost like Apple. It's like the app. You know what I mean, Coach? Right? Apple. It's almost like Apple of the oils.
Yeah.
It's so big and major. It doesn't take much to. It takes a lot to move it, and this is taking a lot to movement. And Coach is right. For them to all not just, and they've been weak, just go up on this type of news. This might be a buy the rumor, sell the news on the oils.
Yeah.
Intermediate. I'm not talking about Exxon and Chevron. I'm talking about maybe Devon or the stocks that I said that are even below the moving averages.
Right.
They're better trades, but like I said, Coach said, it's barometer at this point for me.
Okay.
Boeing had a move negative to positive yesterday. That's something let's keep our eye on. AT&T, that's not an actual chart. ServiceNow was a stock that I'm keeping my eye on that was down nicely after hours. Now it's negative. This turned negative.
Ugly. Still looks ugly.
Actually, you know what? Now it does. But it's also going with the rest of the tech stocks. So as Tesla is up $12, still they sold Rivian off and it's down nicely. That's that. So they are keeping up the stocks that had the news, and they're selling off the tag-alongs.
Let's look at BABA.
Here's BABA. All right. So this is poised. Listen, it needs rest. It's poised for another move. This is the stock I like, and I'm buying more of it. I'm the only one. It looks like this is a stock. YY is a stock I'm aggressively in the fund.
What is it, yo-yo?
No, it's a Chinese stock. Look at, I'm all over the board today. I'm basically making the market in this thing.
Yeah,
I'm
it
selling
looks like
it up high. I'm buying.
I'd like to make an appointment at 11:48 to do a trade.
What's that mean?
It means that there's time gaps in between trades. Put the short term.
All me.
Huh?
Literally, what is the volume in YY today? 227,000 shares. I'm a lot of it. I think I'm about 20.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So 1 minute chart, you have to call them up and say, hey, look, I'd like to do a trade in about 15 minutes.
Easy, Big Daddy. I was showing you just because I wanted to show the triangles on the minute where my trades were. I don't look at 1 minute charts. I got yelled at by a trader in here I actually look at 5 minutes.
I like to see spaces. All right. So let's see what else you want to cover here. What else is capturing your attention? Bitcoin's had the huge rally. You still like things like coin? Are they participating? Huge rally in crypto
This SI,
stocks.
this SI Silvergate Capital, I was
That
trading it.
still looks ugly.
And no, this is another one. I don't know. I'm not. I trade them. They've been great traders. Mara has been a run up, much like something like AAL.
Uh-huh.
You know, what I mean,
Yeah,
that's
they look similar. Yeah.
So listen, it's the theme is not changing since I would say the last 4 to 6 months for us. I'm day trading. I'm moving in the active stocks, and I'm sticking with stocks that if they go with best of breed, as a fun, just my
And it's okay to be lightly positioned. That means you have cash for the opportunities. Like if we get pullbacks in some of these names that you say need rests.
well, for example, I'll give you another example. I took a lot of this off, and you know what? I'm not sure if this is a BHC. This is one of my big ones. I had 50, 80,000, whatever I had. It went from 676. I was, now it's
Yeah.
going to 865. I'm actually selling. I started selling it right at this gap here, this line.
Yeah.
So, to have,
30%, 40%.
yeah, I had 68,000 shares. Now I only have 28. So, that's a move for me. I took some off. SC is a major fund stock. It doesn't look like a lot, but the stock went from 52 to 66. What else am I in? And then some D-Dog I sold today in the fund. I took some off. I'll tell you right now, gold I doubled down in, unfortunately, yesterday. I'm okay there because it made a nice move in. Splunk, huge move in Splunk. I'm going to add to dips, but I took some off yesterday and I left a little on the table, but I'm in it from 81. I took it off at 94. Amazon, I'm in. Square, I'm in. YOU, bigger position. Everybody knows I'm in. I'm adding to that today. NET, I sold today. I sold it. I was down in it. Broke the moving average yesterday. I said, what happened here? 3 days ago, it was at 49. Yesterday, it was at 42. $7 move. I have it nicely. I sold some of it today at 49. You know what? Might have been a good move. So I sold some of it near. I'll reassess the position. I'll move on. CRISPR. Everybody knows I'm in CRISPR. If they don't, then they should get in. So I'm going to add to CRISPR. I'm not happy about it. I am nice. It is nice, but I think a binary move is coming. Everybody knows, again, my biggest loser is VIX. What am I going to do here? My average price on VIX is 14.24. You believe that?
Yeah.
That's sickening.
Yeah. Okay.
Pissed.
All right. So next.
Yeah, and, I know. So.
All right. So, it's okay. You're human. And you know what? Most people be happy to have, a piece of the other things you were doing.
No.
And I mean, what's this percentage of your book in VIX?
I have 58,000 shares from, what did I say, 1442.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's a I have a nice line. Don't get me wrong. That's a fraction of it, but it's my biggest loser. It's wiping out. It's combined. It's wiping out all my winners. So I'm even.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for your transparency.
Yeah, of course.
It shows that pros, even pros can be wrong-footed sometimes. So anyway, Mike, I appreciate you really being straight with the public. Most people would be a revisionist, wouldn't even mention VIX. So that kind of, showing you have integrity sets you apart in this sea of barracudas.
And we go here. Here's our screen. We'll leave it off. Listen, like I say, this TradeGATEHub is a room and it's a process. Everybody can go back and look at our YouTube channel, which is our second best amenity besides num1 being free, mind-blowingly. Just go out the room every day. There's no doubt that I'm passionate and I'm in, as Tim would say, I'm into it. So I'm not going to go into anything. You want to be in the room and see something or put a trade I'm posting, right or wrong, get real time in the room. So I'm not going to see anything how, things might change. So
they always change.
With that said, I'm not, I'm just maneuvering now. You know what I mean?
Okay, buddy. Nice trading.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
All right. And we invite you to join us. TradeGATEHub.com. We're not going to upsell anything to you. If you want to go ahead and check out TradeV Markets, that's your prerogative. No pressure.
And one thing, another thing outside of this, the style, and I'll leave up with this. No, it's not coaches. Go follow who I follow on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
say, I always you can branch out and look at who they follow, look at their data a couple, for a couple of days. But one thing I'm going to say is that, I have a decent win percentage. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm wrong. And I'm wrong a lot. What's the difference? It's a matter of staying wrong, not being wrong is the real problem.
Yeah.
But we give very, very, very high level opinions between me, Tim, and Coach. Over 100 years of very, very high level of backgrounds, education. We have a lot to back it up. Trust me, we're not going to start posting things that make things look obnoxious. But we stand on our word. So follow who I follow here. They're all, my point is they're high level opinions. Just like if you want to get better at swimming, you don't go in the bait, in the what do they call it thing, the kiddie pool. You jump in with freaking Michael Phelps and you try to keep up and you try to get better and day by day. Hopefully he gives you the time to get better, but that's how you get better as a trader. Coach is Michael Phelps and he's here to coach you all the time. And I'm just going to be just as so. You know what I mean? It's a process and it takes a while. You know what I mean? I'm still here after 27 years. I don't know if I'm getting on the soapbox. It's not because I think I'm going to learn something else. It's because I think I'm going to miss something that might make me a better trader. Really, what the key is to me.
To be there for the good times, you have to be there all the time.
No, it's all good.
All right, Mike.
Yeah.
And I advise people to stay out of the kiddie pool, even though it's warmer.
Well, if you want to be in the kiddie pool, you should have the TradeView demo by now. If you want to jump into big boys, get in, sign on. I'll be more than happy to call me personally, whatever email, whatever call it personally. I'll set you up and help you set up the screen properly with the routing and whatever it may be. I get it. You know what I mean? You're gonna buy a Ferrari with us. I'm gonna teach you how to drive it. So that's where we'll leave it at.
There you go. Mario Venezia.
Thank you. Cheers.
All right, buddy.